Hi, I'm Tina Ann Middleton, author of the Forestville series. I'd like to welcome you today to the writing journey, where we inspire and encourage each other in the craft of writing. I'm still on my series on favorite local authors. So today I'll talk to you about another one from the group that I'm in, that is a writers group, American Christian Fiction Writers. I'll be right back. So as I said, I'm still in my series on local favorite authors. And today I want to talk to you about Marguerite Martin Gray. Let me tell you a little bit about Marguerite. Marguerite enjoys the study of history, and she is an avid traveler and reader. And we've talked about that before. If you're going to be a writer, you should be a reader. She teaches French and Spanish. I've actually thought about getting her to do a refresher on me from my high school Spanish from years ago. So she is well educated. She has degrees in French, Spanish, and journalism from Trinity University in San Antonio. And she has a Master of Arts in English from Hardin-Simmons University in Abilene. Marguerite writes historical fiction, and she is a member of our local American Christian Fiction Writers. That's how I had the chance to get to know her. Before I go any further, let me encourage you, if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to my channel, The Writing Journey. Make sure you ring the bell so that you get notifications of future videos. Also, I encourage you to follow me on Facebook, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Amazon author page. Let me tell you a little bit about Marguerite's books. The series that I'm in right now is called the Revolutionary Faith series. This series makes that time right before the Revolutionary War very personal. It's from the point of view of a young woman named Elizabeth and the man she falls in love with, Louis, and their lives after he moves to South Carolina. When he first moves, he's like, I'm just here to do business. But he falls in love with his adopted country, and he falls in love with Elizabeth. And it tells about their lives and the time leading up to the Revolutionary War. It's set in Charlestown, South Carolina. There are several books in this series, actually. Hold Me Close, Surround Me, Bring Me Near, Draw Me to Your Side, and Wait for Me. I'm currently in the fourth book, Draw Me to Your Side. And it's not just talking about Elizabeth wanting Louis to draw her to his side. No, she wants God to draw her to his side. So it is revolutionary faith, and it shows how the people in this story, as they're preparing for war, they're growing in their faith. The next book is one that was just recently released, and it's called Labor of Love, and it's going to be a part of her Gardens of Time series. So looking forward to reading that one too. As I've mentioned before, our American Christian Fiction Writers Group does an anthology of short stories each year. Marguerite is a contributor to those books. So why do I like her stories? Why is she in my favorite authors? For one thing, I like historical fiction. I like history. It's a story to me. But historical fiction makes it more personal. And that's what her books do. It's not just telling you dates and times. You can read a history book for that. It's stories of people. And she takes fictional characters and puts them in relationship with real historical figures. And it makes it more personal. It makes you feel like you're there. You can relate to these people. her characters are real seeming and easy to sympathize with. You know, you see Lewis when he comes to this country, and all he wants to do is set up business. That's all. But he's got a tender heart, and he finds things different than what he expected. And you can sympathize with him. Or Elizabeth, a young woman who's reaching marriageable age, and she's got a father who can be a little difficult to deal with, and a brother that comes back and he's really difficult to deal with. He comes back from school in England and he is Mr. Arrogance. I'm not going to tell you much more than that. But like I said, I'm repeating myself, I know, but you can relate to them. You can see these characters today. So her stories are realistic. It's not just a happily ever after. There is some happily ever after. There's also some things that are not so happy. Some unhappy endings. And we know life is like that, don't we? It's a mix. We have the things that we look at that story and we think there's no way that's ever going to end well. But there are some happy things that happen too. Got to hold on to those happy things, Marguerite's books are a pleasure to read. This is probably a series that I'll go back and reread. I am one of those people, if I find a series of books or a book that I enjoy, I will I will read it over and over. When I was a child, my grandparents gave me a copy of Where the Red Fern Grows. And I read it over and over, about read the covers off. When our daughter, Kimberly, was into chapter books, I gave her my book. She finished reading the covers off of it. We had to buy another copy. Because like her mama, she'll read something over and over. And we both just get lost in the stories. I'll probably do that with Marguerite's. I could see that happening. It's so easy to get just lost in there, I'm back there in Charlestown, watching this story unfold, feeling the tensions as we realize that King George is not going to cooperate. Marguerite shows the importance of loving what you write, and she shows how vital it is to keep writing. I invite you to join me. Have a great week.